Good morning, good evening, good night. Did I say good afternoon? Let us go again. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whoever you are, listening to our Faith Walk podcast. How are we all doing today? And I encourage you that when we ask the question, how are you doing? I want you to not only be factual to yourself, but I want you to take that moment and reflect. And how are you truly doing? Reflect on your emotions, try and analyze them, and then you answer us, how are you doing? Hey guys, how are we doing for me today, Tuesday? I am feeling rather blessed, rather renewed, rather hopeful, optimistic, favored, victorious, and successful. It is the first day of a new month, a month of victory. We are stepping into April victorious. Guys, it's nothing short of faith, and with faith, we see miracles every single day. Welcome back to another Testimonial Tuesdays. You're listening to your favorite girl, Lady Garrison, where we walk by faith and not by sight. I'm an author of children's books, and when we're not promoting those books, we're educating, empowering, and motivating somebody. On today's episode of Testimonial Tuesdays, without a test, you will not have a testimony. Embrace your test. Celebrate your test. Be thankful for your test. Those lessons are most times our biggest blessings. Those lessons are most times our biggest blessings. What are your testimony today? Share it in the comment and let us just maybe read it next week. But share some of your testimonies that you want to give God thanks for during the course of your life. Something that when you come out of the tunnel, you have to give Him an extra praise. You have to give Him an extra glory. Because without Him, you could not have done it. And through Him, He showed you how merciful He is and how wonderful He is. But above all, He reassured you that He never fails. He reassures you that He never fails. Testimonial Tuesdays. What are we going to talk about today? But before we start talking about that, I introduced to my social media platform today my March read. And I'm just going to talk about it a little bit today in Testimonial Tuesday. My March read is a book that I read many years ago, 2018 to be exact. But it wasn't this packed. It was the same thing, but to me it's a little bit more thicker. You know, there's a lot more information in it than the copy I read in 2018. And I'm blessed again to now own my own copy of this book. This is my third copy. My first copy that I owned, I left it somewhere in America. The second copy that I owned, I left it when I was migrating. So I left it back home in Jamaica. So when I come back to America now, I decided that I want this book to be in my catalog of books. It has to be my bookshelf because rather so often I have to draw back for this great book. No, the title of this book is called The Empowered Wife. And listen, it doesn't mean that you have to be married to read this book. It doesn't mean that you have to, you know, be in any relationship to read this book. But I'm encouraging you, all females, if you are thinking of, if you're in a committed relationship, if you're in a situationship, if you are married, you need a copy of this book. Believe me when I say you all need a copy of this book. It has transformed my life in such a way where it draped me, it dragged me, but yet still it reaffirmed me. It take the veil from my eyes and let me see clearly. It have me saying like, whoa, really? How could I? Oh my gosh. This is so deep. This is so factual. And remember, again, when we say the empowered wife, some person think you turn into a wife. Let me just reassure you, you don't turn into a wife. You are already a wife. So if you think, or if you know rather, you know that you're a wife, you are just not yet married. You need to get your copy. Okay? I am encouraging you, be prepared, and this will set you straight so you will have a long-lasting, fulfilled, happy, spontaneous marriage when you cross that road or cross that bridge rather, right? So without no further ado, we are going to talk about listen, Testimony Tuesdays. Welcome, 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 welcome. Of course, you're listening to the FaithWalk podcast, and you know I am your host, Lady Garrison, here to inspire and uplift you through the power of faith and personal testimony. Today is our special segment, Testimonial Tuesdays, where we share stories of hope, resilience, and of course, the incredible ways faith transforms lives. In this episode, I am thrilled to explore how trusting in God can lead us through our darkness moments and into the light of His purpose. This is so true. Sometimes, we are on a pathway, and the path that we're on is not the right path. Sometimes friendship leads us to that path. Sometimes relationship lead us to that path. Sometimes job opportunities lead us to that path. Sometimes children, family lead us to that path. Sometimes circumstances lead us to that path, but it's not our own path. It's not His purpose for us. It is not the purpose that we were designed to walk on, or in rather. So we need that redirection. And sometimes when He redirects us in our purpose or on our path, it tends to be hurtful. Hurtful in a way where we don't think is Him working. Hurtful because we feel so many different emotions, we question Him. Hurtful in a way where we asked not just only why, but we think this cannot be of Him. But He sometimes has to break our hearts to save our souls. Just like how He sometimes has to take us off those paths that we're on and redirect us in our own purpose. Each of us has our own unique journey. And today I will share my personal testimony, how I faced challenges, felt lost, and ultimately found my way through faith. When I say to you, I walk by faith and not by sight. Some of you are listening, but you would not understand. Some of you are listening, but you would not understand. Whatever you take faith for, that's how I walk blindly. Let me take you back to a time when I was feeling overwhelmed with doubt. Things not going right my way. I felt like giving up. And I say to myself, you know what? Let me give it to God. If it is will, then let it be done. Because in my situations, sometimes I'm hurt and I retaliate some way and I say some things, but deep down, that's not of me. And I find it more so often recently that I have to be always stepping on my own toes to say, this is not you. Don't even say that. I remember being in a situation, still in the situation, and I don't believe in the certain system. And every time I utter, that's what I was concluded to. That's what the enemy wanted me to confound to. And I was like, you know what? This has to be this way because there's no other way. And I remember the most talking to me and say, that's not my way. The battle is already won. You just need patience and you just need to follow my lead. And I say, you know what? That can't be it because this is so painful and this shouldn't be happening to nobody, especially a mother. And trust me, He comforts you in these times. He comforts you in this time. It's far from over. I say this every time in my podcast. But every time I'm seeing a light, I'm seeing a reason. And I'm just have to continually give Him praises and thanks. The enemy never wins. The enemy never wins. It was in that moment of despair that I turned into prayer and sought guidance from the scriptures. I lean on verses like Isaiah 41 verse 10, which says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." As I walk through that season, let me tell you guys, and let me encourage you today on Testimonial Tuesdays. No matter what you're going through, give God thanks. Give Him that battle to fight. Leave all vengeance unto the Most High. Leave all battles until to the Most High. Not every battle that you are invited to, you should attend. Not every battle that you are invited to, you should attend. As I walk through that season, I learned that my faith is not just a belief, but a living force that sustained me. I saw doors open where there seems to be none. And I felt an unexplainable peace, knowing I wasn't facing my battles alone. I used to say, and I continue to say, I don't fight. The Most High fight for me. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on your own testimonies. I encourage you to think about the time when faith has lifted you from despair, guided your decisions, or brought you joy? Some persons fail to reflect, some persons fail to acknowledge, and some persons fail to take accountability for their own actions. You cannot correct something if you think you are not wrong. If you don't see there's a mistake, if you don't see something wrong about what you're doing or the way you're doing something or what you're saying, then you cannot make any corrections. Accountability is a big step. Reflection is a huge step towards change. And I say this many times on my podcast, many times on my social media platforms. I have done so much unlearning and relearning in my journey with the Most High. Even I myself is in so much awe of the transformation that my life has gone under. I speak differently. I act differently. I dress differently. Everything for me is different. I think before I answer a question. I think before I respond to a statement. And I give grace. God is truly amazing. When the Most High has transformed your life and He has placed you, it's nothing short of a blessing. The feeling of peace, the feeling of joy, the feeling of fulfillment, the feeling of knowing that you are enough. Maybe not in the sight of man, but in the sight of the Most High. Knowing that you're a child of God. Knowing that you're renewed. Knowing that you're living only for Him and everything you do is His way. God is truly amazing. Is nothing short of a miracle and a blessing. Remember, sharing our stories can empower others. That is why we have FaithWalk podcast. If you have a testimony you would like to share, reach out to me through our email, that is magicmindbooks@gmail.com, or social media. Social media is FaithWalk Podcast and IG, that's Instagram, and on TikTok it is FaithWalk Podcast as well. Your experience could inspire someone else in their walk of faith. Guys, don't listen to your favorite girl, Lady Garrison. We walk by faith and not by sight. I'm an author of children's books, and when we're not promoting those books, we're empowering, motivating, and encouraging somebody. As we wrap up this episode, I leave you with this. Your faith walk is ongoing. Your faith walk is ongoing. Embrace the journey. Trust in God's plan and His timing, and be ready to witness miraculous changes in your life. Thank you for tuning in into this week's Testimony Tuesdays on the FaithWalk podcast. Stay blessed, keep walking in faith, and I'll see you next time. Bye.